I've known Emery now almost close to 20 years, and met him first when I came back here as a professor in 1962. And John Reynolds had been elected governor, and John had been a neighbor of mine in graduate school. I am the 9th governor that Emery Styles has taken in to raise, and I mean that very seriously.
If someone ever decided to write a play entitled Backstairs at Wisconsin's White House, Mr. Emery Styles would have to be in it. Mr. Styles is beginning his 34th year in employment in the governor's office. He has served under 9 governors. He is a quiet, unassuming man who knows the ins and outs of state government. How does Emery assist you at the mansion?
He kind of oversees the formal affairs, anything to do with dinners and receptions and so on. And it is patently clear that, and I say this in a positive sense, he probably wouldn't like me to say this, it's almost, you get the impression, that's Emery's mansion. He has been there so long, it can't function without him. And all of the staff who come and go, and all the governors who come and go, but Emery is part of it. And I tell you, that is true in a very real sense. And when he expresses a notion that something ought to be done this way or that way, more often than not, that's the way it's going to be done.
I come every Tuesday and Thursdays. My main business here is to check for the governor's clothing, a few personal things for the governor, and then other responsibilities for special occasions, for the social affairs mainly. I take care of the bartending, the serving the guests for them.
He is well aware of so many of the different parts of state government, and he has learned a great deal about the way in which the governor and the state treasurer and the governor and the secretary of state have to interact in regard to getting things done. He does the first sort of the mail. He takes a look at all of the incoming mail. He determines some things. He determines if something should be seen by the governor immediately. He then turns it over either to constituent relations or the other divisions in the office, and he does that very, very quickly so that people have their mail right away in the day. He also takes care of the documents and goes over them just prior. I'm talking about the official documents. If the governor's signature is needed, he will take a look at that. If we need to have the state seal, and while he doesn't always make the determination about that, he is a kind of our final check person to see that it is as it is supposed to be and is all correct.
Consequently, he is privy to anything that is being written or said around here. He is the one source that probably hears and sees everything.
Would you describe in a few words each of the governors that you've served under? I'll start to mention them. Governor Rennebaum.
Governor Rennebaum was a fair-minded person. He's the type who believed that state workers for a day's pay should give a day's work.
What about Governor Kohler?
Governor Kohler was a very fine type of person. He believed in higher education. I think that was one of his specialties.
Governor Thompson?
Governor Thompson, he had fiscal restraints, and at that time, I recall he used to always carry a cigar in his mouth. He would never light it.
What about Governor Gaylord Nelson?
Governor Gaylord Nelson, he was a young, handsome type of governor, and very concerned about our environment.
Governor Reynolds?
Governor Reynolds was a very warm type of person. Once you get to know him, he would do almost anything for you.
Governor Knowles?
Governor Knowles was very popular with everyone. I guess he was known as strictly a public relation person.
Governor Patrick Lucey?
Governor Lucey, I'd say he believed in prison reforms.
Governor Schreiber?
Governor Schreiber, he was concerned about the elderly and so forth, and very warm type of person.
And our present governor, Lee Sherman Dreyfus?
Everybody, whenever he has a press conference, he always draws a crowd because the people they're amazed at the way he can talk without hesitating. And he's just a popular type of person. He likes to meet people and talk with people.
Mr. Styles, you've been involved in the governor's office in a rather unique way. Would you encourage young people to get involved in the political process, especially minority groups?
Yes, I would, very much so, especially minorities and Hispanics. I would say that the public is anxious to become better known with the minorities and Hispanics and etc. Once people become better known and acquainted with all people, I think the fear that a lot of people have about minorities and Hispanics, they would forget about that. Once people become involved with one another, working together, they can find out that they can solve their problems. Being a minority, people have to learn how to get in and fight, not with the fist, but be persistent and reliable. Don't just give up. You go in, if you're fortunate enough to get a job, try and take care of the job and do a good job of it.
Emery Styles has kept an official autograph sheet with signatures of every governor he served under. When we found that one signature was missing, that of Governor Lee Dreyfus, we asked the governor to complete Emery's autograph sheet. That was a proud moment for Mr. Styles, and now his signature list is complete. Since this is Emery's 34th year in state government, and the fact that he assists the highest office in the state year after year, we would just like to say,
Happy anniversary!
Somehow you just have to feel that the governor's office is a little extra special because of Emery Styles.